from a bunch of different legends today. Not necessarily the Zol, but of course we saw it from the Orion. We saw a little bit less of it from the Brynn, but still had very potent signature usage. Of course, we see a lot of it from the Vrax, starting this one out with the Blasters here against Raydish's Gauntlets.
Raydish waiting out that down signature. Another situation where somebody can kind of keep Raydish on those corners. Ensig doesn't hit the second one. Stingray not able to punish with that dodge down there, but he's definitely playing this Blasters game right now. You see the weapon spawn on the right side, and he is not making any moves to go over there and pick up a lance.
So other than Stingray's lance, Raydish hasn't really fought against Blasters today, unless it was like really early in the tournament. He hasn't fought against Blasters, and other than Stingray, he hasn't fought against Lance, except for that Orion that we saw earlier. So we'll see how he does against the Blasters. We know he beat the Orion Lance. Will he also have as equal success or better against the Vrax Lance? Man, that's tough to see that. I believe it turned him red, the final pieces of it. Neutral Sig still not gonna KO. They took that force away from us. Look, Vrax players, rise up. That's what they took from us.
Vrax players crying out in unison alongside Sparky. It does definitely have less variable force than a lot of the other Lance signatures on the Vrax, but conversely, it has the most damage of the Vrax Lance signatures, and of course, it's going at that weird angle where it's a lot harder to KO. He's still got that down tick fantastic for KOing, and he's already made sure that the damage between the two of them is basically even.
They even took some of the damage from us on that, too. That thing used to do like 37 damage, which, of course, it had no business doing that. Stingray, there he goes, picks up the side sig, not quite enough. Even though Raydish is in orange, that almost was enough.
Turnaround.
Okay, you're right. You called the turnaround. Raydish got it and got the KO.
I was almost critical of that decision to go in with the down air. I would have believed that a side air was the better angle of direction, but he definitely had the better positioning, so it ended up working out. Now he's going to go for the edge guard against Stingray. Hits the ground pound. Stingray does manage to get back to the wall. He's going to reset to neutral, and he gets the end sig, keeps this one close.
So you saw him disengage from that off stage edge guard. Didn't want to do that whatsoever. He had that one good one against Luna, but he's not going to get too cocky on it. He knows he has Lance, which it does not have the best edge guard game in Brawlhalla, especially when you're against an orb or you're going to be against gauntlets. So he got out of there pretty quickly.
Yeah, got out of dodge, made sure not to risk too much there, but Raydish is finding the hits with this orb. Likely going to be looking for more side airs again. He was so effective with those sidelight side airs, and that's going to be another one to give Raydish game number one.
I do like what we saw from Stingray right before he got punished for it. He threw out that downlight, and then he hit the turnaround side air. And because of that drift that you have in side air, he was holding the other direction from Raydish. He was still holding left. This is a beautiful turnaround. There you see the down air, and that was it. But that turnaround, he was able to get away from the punish.
Yeah.
The biggest range that Raydish has is going to be that sidelight. I think even if he put a dash sidelight, he might have just barely had the range to make it, but using that drift and the movement speed that Vrax has to all of his favor to throw out a move and then get himself out of range of being punished without having to burn a dodge, just holding a direction.
Well, he's going to have to play completely differently now because he's swapping over to the Brynn. He'll still have high movement speed, but again, he brings that movement speed down from 7 to 6 to try to bring it more in line with the rest of the Brynn stats. Alliance going to try to cover this corner. Raydish utilizing those weapon tosses to guarantee a landing, but you saw the stars come out. That was a burned recovery. He'll get back to the wall safely.
There again, we're seeing Stingray do those signatures, like running off stage, turning around, and getting that like reverse charge on it. He did that with the down signature on Axe where he hit the scoop, bouncing his opponent off the wall, and now he's doing it with the spear side signature. That's going to be a punish, maybe for a KO, setting up the edge guard, spirit bomb, and he's done.
Yeah, Raydish, I mean, like, his gameplay hasn't had to change too much. Yeah, he'll bring out some gauntlet stuff. He'll kind of show a little bit more, but for the most part, he's just had this consistency with his orb. He takes a lot of stage control with those sidelight side airs, and when he needs to, he'll get the edge guard with that spirit bomb, but it's going to be a neutral light from Stingray to keep the stock count even.
He has around 50 damage on this stock, so not a huge lead, especially as Raydish is coming in unarmed, is able to pick up the orb very quickly. We'll see if Stingray can put out the damage to even these things up. He's going to take a two-piece, now hits a nice double down air to sort of interrupt the momentum that Raydish had in that string. Raydish is still finding these, almost taken off the top. He's extending these recoveries with his neutral airs, starting off with the downlights. There's the sidelight side air, going to toss that up. Toss it straight up so that he could pick up the gauntlets, throw those, and then catch the orb on the way down.
This time he chases out there, hits him with the recovery. Raydish is picking apart Stingray off the back of his orb gameplay. Neutralite beats out Stingray. He's continuing to press the advantage. Stingray with the axe in hand can't find a hit onto Raydish. Ensig connects as well.
He falls into it. Raydish really wasn't using those until like that one was the first one of this set between these two players. We haven't. I almost forgot that one existed because we haven't seen it in so long.
The anime signature teleport behind, but didn't connect onto Stingray. That's a burn dodge, so it's a double into the side air, but Stingray is one hit from getting KO'd.
He's going to have to play basically perfect. Even that side light, that sent him so far off stage, giving Raydish plenty of room to pick up. Of course, it's going to be the orb. He set that up, and he takes that game home. Now up 2-0, of course, with the winner's bracket blessing, where he only has to win one more game, and he's going to be adding his second gold medal to his belt. The last time he had a gold medal was the Summer Championship of 2022.
Oh, but he has been so good, practicing so much since then. Again, did very well for himself in Autumn Championship, did well for himself at the World Championship, and of course, doing amazing for himself here at the Winter Championship. He is one game away. Stingray has swapped characters time and time again. We've already seen the Lord Brax. We've already seen the Brynn. We've seen the Orion earlier. It worked for a game. Is it time for that or something different?
So comparing these two players, they are so close to one another. If we're looking at seeds,
Emotionally?
if we're looking at everything,
okay.
Stingray is just like one step ahead of Raydish until we actually get to this set. But Stingray is one step ahead of Raydish. At the Autumn Championship, Stingray was 4th, Raydish was 5th. At the World Championship, Stingray was 4th, Raydish was 5th. In PR, Stingray is 3rd, Raydish is 4th. In Seeds, Stingray is 3rd, Raydish is 4th. So Raydish is hot on the heels of Stingray. Now he's really ahead of them, at least in this game, as he opens up with a massive string, putting out 100 damage just like that in about 13 seconds.
Stingray hoping the bow is going to be the answer for him as he switches over to the Azoth, at least level 25 on this Azoth. His axe might have worked really well. That's why he's keeping it, but he maybe wants to bring out the bow, but it's back to the axe as he needs a little bit more damage before he can look for that side air.
Now, we were talking about the signature usage on Vrax and how he was able to easily weave those into his gameplay based on the signature kit. That's something we see from a lot of Azoth players. I mean, pretty much every Azoth player runs right into that Hadouken. So much range on it that Raydish can play so safe back on almost the left third of the stage and still have a threat while not being threatened.
I really feel like Stingray's got this mental block of like, he really wants to punish those orb Ensigs off stage. He knows that's a burn dodge. He's going to get that side air to get the KO. But that's time and time again where he tries to do something. He's really trying to push into Raydish's Ensigs when he does that to protect himself.
We are very even between these two. The bowstring that Stingray found at the end of last game, okay, still trying to punish that one, but he punished that too late because he was waiting. He was giving it respect, which is really probably the better thing to do there, is punish just a little bit too late rather than falling into it.
Yeah, rather not get punished for your whiffed punish at the very least, but he's still struggling to find that damage. Raydish disarms Stingray, back to the axe. The dare.
Raydish still has a nice lead here. The side air sending just barely off screen. Almost trying to pick up that side light right off the corner. Stingray is able to use his dodge to get through it. The recovery's back to the stage. Stingray just really isn't able to punish too heavily, and Raydish is the opposite.
Yeah, Raydish does a really good job of covering those corners where Stingray has not been able to do so against him. Raydish one stock away from being crowned the Winter Champion. Ensig, not enough. Down, or side sig.
Starting to use those a little bit more. Pops himself back, puts some range in between him and Raydish. Also throws out that hitbox. Okay.
Okay.
Keeping him weapon starved. That's going to lower his damage output. That's going to lower the priority he can find with his moves. Now he's on the quote-unquote off weapon with the gauntlets. Maybe not the off weapon anymore.
Trying to catch that movement of Stingray.
Nice, Neutralite.
But the down sig does not get it. Oh, that's a dodge. Raydish gets him with the side light. He's so close to closing this out.
Each of these hits in orange is sending Stingray so far. Raydish without a weapon. Stingray has the axe in hand. There is a weapon on the field. Immediately stripped away by Stingray. I'm really digging the bow right now.
But is it enough? It's past it. Hits the recovery. And Sig doesn't hit.
That was so close. It's going to take one more side air.
Sweeping.
He almost picked up that sideline side air, and there it is. Raydish is your 2023 North American Winter Champion.
Putting another gold medal on the neck of Raydish. He is a champion again for Winter 2023. Raydish, he's been looking good. He's on the come up, and of course, he is now the Winter Champion. He's going to the Royale against the person he just beat, as well as many other people in March.
I am so curious how that is going to affect PR. I wonder if he is going to jump above Stingray with the points from getting first place here in the Winter Championship. We could see some major movement coming from these players. We could see Luna drop. We could have a new PR #1. Who knows?
I don't know. It's going to be tough. I mean, of course, Luna was PR #1 just above Impala. He did manage to beat Impala, so you might see that kind of proportionate change between the two of them, but at the same time...